What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome to another week of Hero or Zero. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking one comic book character, as we do every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and we just generally give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. Now, as always, I talk about DC, and my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Meehan, talks about Marvel.
He's mixing up the intro.
You gotta keep it exciting. It's been 148 weeks, Shaun.
That's, you know what? That's a long time. There have been children born in that time.
So many children.
So many, not related to us, but just in general.
No, but Shaun, this is Hero Zero. As I said, we choose one comic book character. Now, last week you did something very exciting, where you picked, what if Marvel had a Suicide Squad?
Yes, and I put together a crew, if you will.
You put together, what are we? Some kind of Marvel Suicide Squad crew, you said?
I did say that, and then they said, no, that's copyrighted.
Big Willie came in. He was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and so I did that. I put together a quick little team. So I can only assume this week, Connor, you're also going to throw the handbook out of the window and do something completely wild.
I've decided to do a character that's very much a Green Lantern character, but this character instigated one of the biggest storylines in DC Comics history as well. So it's going to be interesting. Now, it's a character that I would actually probably say not a lot of people will know about.
Is it Green Lantern?
It's no. Just because I said his name doesn't mean I'm doing.
Sinestro?
It's not Sinestro, no.
Is it Parthenax?
It's not. Well done, no. Is it Kilowog? No.
Fuck, I was hoping it would be Kilowog.
1 week we will do Kilowog. But this week I'm doing a character known as William Hand, Shaun. Otherwise known as the Black Hand.
Right. Okay.
You don't know anything about this character.
Billy. You know Billy, don't you?
Big Bill.
Big Bill Hand.
So
Big
his
Willy
first...
Hand.
Big Will's going to come in now again. What's going on there?
What fuck did I tell you, Shaun?
We're going to start talking about Independence Day in a second. He's going to go fucking mad. So, Shaun, this character was created by John Broome and Gil Kane, and his first appearance was in Green Lantern Volume 2 in June of 1964. Now, he had an original origin that was kind of fairly by the numbers. So that's not the exciting part. So his first origin was he came from a wealthy and respectable family. He hated his family and he tried to do basically evil because his three brothers were really successful. And he didn't like that.
Okay. Fairly standard character motivations.
Yeah, and he was a villain.
Begrudgery.
A big begrudgery, right? That was basically his thing. But then after Infinite Crisis... in 84, they decided to change his storyline, or change his origin, I should say. And with that came one of, I think, I don't want to say coolest, but it's just like, it's not also badass, but it's darkest, probably. One of the darkest origins that DC have done in a while. So, I mean, Bane born and grew up in the darkness. He was born by it, raised by it, molded by it. But,
Gotham Stadium, correct.
Gotham Stadium. I just always think of the Harley Quinn show when he just is constantly trying to blow up stadiums.
He just hates stadiums.
So after Infinite Crisis, his beginnings were altered. This was during Green Lantern's Secret Origin storyline, and it was revealed that his family had owned a funeral home, Shaun. So William Hand's family owned a funeral home. Now you know nothing about William Hand, so that's absolutely fine. So, and that. From a young age...
Wait, can I make one guess? Okay.
Yes.
Magic hand powers.
Oh.
He has one hand that can...
Yes and no. So no at the start, but yes later on.
Gets a real fucked up hand.
He gets caught underneath a car. Oh no!
Oh no! He 127 hours as himself.
Yeah, that's what he does. He eats his own hand. And from a young age... he had been completely obsessed with debt. Now, although he tried to hide his obsession with taxidermy, he did get caught out because what he decided to do was he killed the family dog and stuffed it one day. And this was too far for the family because they went, "That's fucked. You're fucked."
just walking. Lad, that was the dog.
That was the dog. Now he has 3 brothers who are all very successful. His 3 brothers, David, Joe, and Peter. So fairly plain names.
Strong names. The Hand Boys.
The Hand Boys. His first kiss was with a corpse, which is good.
That's a sentence. That's certainly a choice they gave to that character.
He was taken to see a psychiatrist after stuffing the family dog.
Go away, was he?
Yeah, they decided maybe this was too far, right? So now, while no psychological professional was capable of helping him get over his obsession, he learned, which is even worse, to pretend normalcy and at least hide his problems from everybody else. So on the outside, he looks very cool, calm and composed. He's all fine. The inside, complete psychopath.
Right. Well, sociopath, technically. But.
Yeah, okay, sociopath. So his life changed forever when, and this is a sentence, Shaun, I'm going to need you to get with me here.
Oh, it's not often you ask me to get on board.
His life changed forever when an alien monster, Atrocitus, an enemy of the Guardians of the Universe, sought him out. And...
right.
So a big monster showed up and was seeking him out because the monster said that for some reason William had something inside him. He had a doorway to darkness, is what it was called. So he was so fucked that this monster was like, "You're the darkest human in the universe." So they searched him out.
Is this related to Blackest Night?
Oh, maybe a little bit. And so maybe just a tinsy bit.
Oh, the pieces are coming together.
There you go. So Atrocitus came down and he created the weapon the Black Hand is most famous for. So the Black Hand has a weapon that he uses constantly, and it's basically given to him by Atrocitus because Atrocitus comes up, big monster. What happens is Hal Jordan shows up. And Hal Jordan defeats Atrocitus in a graveyard where they meet him. And Atrocitus drops the weapon in the middle of the battle. And William just kind of has a look around, like a sly look, like, "Oh, they're fighting him, okay." And just pockets the weapon. The weird alien weapon that's there.
Okay, is it like a gun?
So, the weapon that he gave him was like... It's hard to explain. It'll come up as I do the report, but it's a really powerful thing that basically just adapts to the storyline. It can kill people, it can seek stuff out, it can do really whatever the storyline wants it to do.
Pretty good weapon. Okay,
it can be used as a gun, it can be used as a metal detector. Whatever you want.
As a gun, I'm happy.
And so Atrocitus attacked him, but he was stopped by, as I said, Hal Jordan and Sinestro, who was still part of the Green Lantern Corps at this time. And after he picks up the weapon and Hal Jordan and Sinestro take the monster away, he runs away, and a mysterious voice in his head told him to take the weapon and flee. So shortly afterward, he would commit his first murder by accident, Shaun. And then that was when he would discover he liked it.
I was hoping he wouldn't like murder. It's getting real hard to root for this guy, Connor.
Yeah, it's really... Was it the bit when he killed the dog?
That was when my faith wavered, I must say. But now he's also a thief.
Yeah.
And a life thief.
And he's kissing fucking corpses. That's not great.
That's also not a fan of that.
Can't give consent.
Please.
They're dead.
Can't give consent.
So,
also gross.
He became obsessed with erasing the unbearable light of the Green Lantern, Shaun. And... turned it into his life's mission, fashioning a homemade costume out of body bags to remind him of his family and his identity. He prepared to fight the hero.
That's emo as fuck. I do quite that. His costume's made of body bags.
I didn't want to say he has a cool origin, but I mean, also he sleeps in a grave beside. When he was younger, he slept in a grave beside all the bones. That's where he slept.
That he just liked it. He just felt good there.
And he has his costume is body bag, Shaun, and he grew up at a funeral home. What are we feeling? Wavered? Is your faith in him wavering or back?
I keep leaning towards liking him, but then I remember all of the murders and dog killings and kissing of corpses.
Hey, he's only done that once. All of them. Okay.
All of them. Yeah, but it's a repeating pattern.
So he calls himself the Black Hand as a reference to himself being the black sheep of the Hand family, which makes sense.
Pretty good.
Now, the first time his metal was professionally tested by Green Lantern, Black Hand used a device of his own invention. So he's also a genius inventor, Shaun, to transport the hero to an astral plane, piece by piece. Although he was only able to reduce Green Lantern by half, he took advantage of the stalemate between their powers to rob the city blind at the time. And meanwhile, he attended a gala for the success of his three brothers, which I think is a strange gala.
Like, in costume.
His three brothers have a gala just for them being successful. And he wasn't invited, or they're just like, your three brothers are class, you're a bit shit.
Yeah, it's odd. Like, you would either throw it for the four of them or not throw it at all, surely.
Yeah, and so they're throwing the gala, and he shows up after robbing the city blind, basically to gloat over how much greater than them he had become. And so he was more famous now than his brother Peter, who was an actor, more brilliant than his brother Joe, who was a scientist, and wealthier than his brother David, who was into finance. And Green Lantern managed to surprise him using a trick with mirrors. He gained the upper hand, defeated and arrested Black Hand for the first time. But it would not be the last time that these two met, Shaun. So he basically would have gotten away with it, but he spent too much time gloating, and then Green Lantern came back. He was monologuing. And so while he was pointed at his brothers going, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you.
Fuck you.
Just a royal fuck you to everyone. Green Lantern came back. Yeah. Auntie Susan, I've always liked you, but Peter, you fucking bastard. So he using his ability to mimic any of his foes' abilities, he would later cloud the minds of the citizens of Core City to make them believe that Green Lantern was in fact a supervillain. So he makes everyone in the city believe Green Lantern is bad, which led to Green Lantern being arrested. And while he's arrested, he does lots of crimes because there's no Green Lantern. Because he just wants everyone to hate Green Lantern as much as he does.
Because Green Lantern, he doesn't like positivity, basically. And Green Lantern is all about...
Green Lantern's a symbol of the light, and he's about darkness.
In many ways, they're opposites.
They are opposites. And so Green Lantern challenged Black Hand again to a fight after escaping from prison. And while they both simultaneously ran out of charge. So this is Black Hand's power rod that he's using, like the magic alien thing. That ran out of charge. Green Lantern's ring ran out of charge. They then engaged in fisticuffs, which resulted in a massive knockout, and Green Lantern spreading Black Hand's body on the pavement with punching the shit out of him.
I was going to say, like, in that fight, my money is still probably, like, hand to hand, still on Hal Jordan, I would say.
Yeah, Hal Jordan fucked him up, yeah. Now, the next time the two fought, Black Hand was responsible for a cabal that was brainwashing a small town to do their bidding. So he's all about brainwashing, or getting people to just follow him. And after Green Lantern saved the town from the natural disaster, he was kidnapped without his power ring, Shaun. And
oh no!
Black Hand,
he can just summon that, can't he?
I'll just stop. And he was going to win, right? He had Green Lantern right where he wanted him. He had the people turned on him. He had his ring. He had him captured. And then Green Arrow shows up, gives him a fresh recharge on the ring, and lo and behold, Black Hand defeated once again shortly after. Unfortunately.
We love an underdog. He's coming. I'm coming back around, Connor.
Now, there was the one moment where that was very cool. It's a very small story, but after Crisis at Infinite Earths, more members of the Green Lantern Corps were stationed on Earth, and what happened was it was John Stewart, Katma Toy, Kilowog, Salak, and Chip, and they caught him. They caught him attempting to break into a bank. And rather than be intimidated by the 5 Green Lanterns he was currently facing, he actually absorbed all of the power from all of their rings, making him nearly as powerful as 5 lanterns put together for that one fight.
Is this because of his magic rod that he has?
Yeah, the power rod,
wow.
yes.
It's pretty good. I would hang on to that, please.
He can drain energy from the rings.
From Green Lanterns.
From Green Lanterns. Which is good because he hates Green Lanterns.
Yeah. Isn't there... No, you'll probably get to it. I'm going to leave it for now.
And the only way he was beaten was when Kilowog, shout out to Kilowog, tricked him into wasting his charge and then beat him with his bare hands. He was stronger than all 5 of them, but got tricked.
So look, after watching Suicide Squad 2016, I don't know if Slipknot can be the official patron saint of the podcast anymore. For a while, can we change it to Kilowog and see how we feel?
I'll go with Kilowog. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a hero, but he'll still beat a man to death with his bare hands.
Not to death, just to within an inch of death.
Till he wishes for death.
Till he wishes for death. Take his fingernails first. So, following this last encounter, he decided to go straight, Shaun. And he decided, I'm not getting involved with any of that shit anymore. I'm done with it. And he seeked out psychiatric care, and he entered legitimate business, Shaun. And he began running his own movie house in New York City, and he was even considering turning it into an art house. However, so he'd given it all up, Shaun.
Yeah,
however,
it was clean.
A chance encounter with Guy Gardner and his girlfriend Ice triggered Hand back into his old costumed identity to fight superheroes, because he's like an addict. He hates them. And
he hates Green Lanterns.
If he even gets a whiff, he has to go evil again. So, after trying to kill Guy Gardner, he realised he was no longer up to the fight and showed remorse. And after Gardner kicked his butt, he surrendered and was knocked unconscious, which is a very Guy Gardner thing that the other guy's like, okay, I give up. I'm still going to kick the shit out of you.
You need to learn your lesson.
Now, this emotional breakdown convinced him to begin seeking even more professional help. And once again, he was diagnosed with herophobic, basically meaning he had a phobia of superheroes.
Right, bad universe to live in, friend.
Now, unfortunately, when he was finally back from his stay in a mental care facility, he went to dinner, Shaun. This is so
Jesus
dumb.
Christ.
He went to dinner where several members of the Justice League International were currently eating their lunch.
Why did I run in such similar circles?
Seeing Martian Manhunter, Kilowog and Gnort threw him into another episode. And he decided to attack the heroes immediately.
He's going to take on 7 Justice League International members at once.
Because he just hates them, Shaun.
He hates heroes so much.
Now, afterward, he was forced to go into further therapy. Eventually, he made a full recovery and went back into his regular career as a costume supervillain, which I think is not a regular career.
No, you can't put that on your farm for college.
Yeah, and so what happened was, eventually Green Lantern turned evil in the story, in comic books. And Hal Jordan killed a lot of the Green Lantern Corps. And he got taken over and he became Parallax during a whole Green Lantern story that's very interesting and very cool if you want to read it. But Hal Jordan turns into Parallax, becomes evil, starts killing all the Green Lantern Corps. Everyone's like, oh, it's Hal Jordan. He's like our guy. He's turned on them.
He's the best of us.
He's the best of us. And he was killing them all. And he nearly destroyed the whole universe at one stage. And then how the story ends is he sacrifices himself to save Earth from in the last battle.
Right, okay.
And at the end of this, Black Hand finally felt a sense of relief because
they're finally dead.
The light he had been working to extinguish for his entire life was finally put out, with little more than a mere spark remaining. So he was just delighted that Hal Jordan got his comeuppance, finally.
Finally, after all the good he's done, he's finally dead.
Now, this might surprise you, but Hal Jordan was resurrected very quickly afterwards in Infinite Crisis. And but what happened was Hal Jordan was made to become a different hero called the Spectre. And it was basically an idea that you'll become the Spectre to make back what you've lost. So you owe it to everyone, so you're just going to give up your soul and become this Spectre character. You're no longer Green Lantern, you're no longer a hero everyone likes. You're just this until you owe it back to us, because you've killed a lot of people now.
Yeah, you need to like atone for your sins, kind of a deal.
Yeah. And while this is happening, Black Hand's device, his magic device, locates a spare power ring that Green Arrow held in case of emergency. And so he's like, I'm going to fucking get that ring. So he turns up, he goes to get it himself, and he's stopped by Green Arrow and Hal Jordan, who is the Spectre now.
He's the Spectre at this point.
Yeah, and he's got magical powers now. Spectre is, like, I would say the most powerful being in all of DC. Or
Holy shit.
It's like God level. Like,
you can do whatever.
You just do whatever. And so, as Hand attempted to wield the power ring, so Hand goes for the ring, and he's like, I'm going to get it for myself. The Green Arrow pinned the villain's hand to the wall with an arrow, and then Hal Jordan, who is the Spectre, burnt his hand to ash. Shaun.
A black hand.
A black hand, if you will. So his hand gets burnt off by the Spectre, and Hal Jordan states he can now live up to his name as the Black Hand, which I think is a bad. Yeah, but he's evil now. What can you do? He's a toad.
I guess, yeah, but there's no need to be a prick about it. Like,
I mean, he's just an idiot. This guy's he's just a psychopath. Like, well, he's a sociopath. He's a ridiculous man who kills dogs and sleeps in graves. Right?
You know what? Fair point.
Now missing his right hand and driven insane from trauma, Shaun. Hand fled. Now, you might think, wasn't he driven insane beforehand? Not quite as much as now, because now he's even more driven insane.
Oh, that was early days, Black Hand.
Yeah, and so very soon after this, he's on board an aeroplane. And you're not going to like this. I'm going to need you to be with me. Something needs to happen to this guy to get him here.
Oh, no.
He's targeted and abducted by aliens.
No, he's not.
Yes. And how the report says is German-speaking aliens. Which I don't know if that makes it like more specific, but I guess it does.
Why would they? Why? Okay, whatever. Yeah, fair.
They're pronounced Krolotians? Krolotians. I'm definitely mispronouncing that.
But it's a made-up word, right?
All words are made up, Shaun. So he gets abducted by the aliens, and they perform experiments on him, and they enhance his inherent power, and then they abandon him in a public park. So he gets all these things, all these experiments done to him, and then he gets left at a park.
That's wild that's just how that... And that's never addressed again, I imagine.
No, he just gets... it's how they get him to hit the next part of his storyline. And so what happens is, as he soon pieced together the mystery of his new powers, the new power that they gave him was that he could drain the life force from others.
Oh, and so he can just touch people and kill them.
He went to a nearby hospital and he drained the life force from 22 people, completely reforming his hand.
Oh, shit.
Yes! What? So, you know in Pokemon, when you drain the life force of your enemy?
Leech life, or leech seed.
And you pump up your own health. Well, that's what he's doing.
He Giga Drained. It's super effective.
He can Giga Drain everyone.
So, but okay, I think I'm leaning backwards the other way, because he's just killed 22 hospital patients.
Just to get a new hand.
But he was living up to his name, Connor.
And so now he's got a new hand, he's got new powers. He's like, right, I'm going to go for Hal Jordan again. No, I'm going to go for Green Lantern. So he goes up to find Green Lantern. He finally finds him. He starts draining life from the Green Lantern with his power ring. Green Lantern's power ring is unable to stop the attack, only to slow it down. So without his ring, he would definitely be dead.
Yeah, but it's like a battery. He's using up that ring energy.
And he did this because he's basically ranting that Hal Jordan cheated death. Because he's like, you died and I was delighted, and then somehow you resurrected and I have to deal with your shit, and you took my hand, so now I'm going to kill you.
And he's just like, and this dude loves death, so he's like, that's not fair. You don't get to come back.
You're not allowed to cheat death. I love death. The word that they use in the comic books is he's the avatar of death.
Right.
Is one of his names.
James Cameron's listening.
Yeah. Their fight spilled into the graveyard where Hal had saved him from Atrocitus all those years ago, and Jordan was able to slice off Black Hand's newly free-formed hand and leave him in a grave, saying that death was nothing without life. Hal does not like Black Hand.
No, he will. I feel like he specifically aimed for the hand that was just fixed as well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So where we take this up is that Black Hand, he gets out of the open grave and he begins hearing some voices from the skeletons that are all around him. And he begins hearing, because I'm getting into Blackest Night now, Shaun, which is one of the biggest storylines. This is a comic book wide storyline that affected all of the Green Lanterns. It affected Batman, Superman, basically every superhero in the whole thing. And they had like a massive, as I said, it's a DC wide storyline that went across every single comic book issue for, I don't know, like 6 months. I can't remember how long it was.
It was happening in the universe, like.
Yeah. And so during Blackest Night, we see Black Hand, he's lounging in an open grave with some skeletons when he begins hearing the voice of the Guardian of Death, the being who formed the Black Lantern. The voice began speaking the names of various heroes who had died and come back to life, including Hal Jordan, Superman, Wonder Woman, and basically said that wasn't fair. That they're coming back to life, and you need to do something about it. And so, he basically gets all these things whispered to him, and it basically tells him that he needs to go back to his family home and start making some sacrifices, because that's the way to do it. Because he'll then get ultimate power. So he returns to his family home, and this voice is constantly talking to him, like telling him all these things, like, you're going to get so much power, you just need to, like, death is the only way.
To me.
Death is freedom. So returning to his family home, Hand murdered each member of his family one by one, before the scene turns that he's sitting at the kitchen table by himself, surrounded by skeletons, because he touched them all with his cosmic his power rod, and so they all just melted. So he kills his whole family, all of his brothers, and his father's the only one left. Like, what the heck? Why are you doing this? And he just kills him, and then he's just sitting at the kitchen table having his dinner, with the bodies just surrounding him. And then the voice says, "You need to make one more sacrifice. I need one more life." And so,
shit.
So the Black Hand decides to turn the cosmic rod on himself and kills himself.
What?
Yes. And with this sacrifice, Scar, who also worshipped the Guardian of Death, this appears in front of him. We just see in the comic book his dead body on the floor, and this being appears in front of him and produces a Black Lantern ring, which reanimates Black Hand, dubbing him the Herald of their Lord. So he is the Herald of the Black Lantern Corps.
Jesus.
Because he made the ultimate sacrifice to kill himself.
Yeah. He would kill himself because the Lord of Death told him to.
Exactly.
That's metal as fuck. That's amazing.
Yes. And so he's the first and only true Black Lantern in this storyline. He's the only true one, because he's been given it. It was reanimated to him. And he's also the only one that has a mind of his own. Like, he can produce Black Lantern rings for Batman, Superman, all of these people. And once they get attached, they just join his army. Yeah,
they're not thinking. They're not in control.
They're not... they can still use their powers, but they're not fully them. Like, they're not fully... He is the only one with his full being. He is both dead and alive simultaneously with his Black Lantern ring, and he controls the whole... everyone. So he's the true Black Lantern in the story that causes this.
Cool. Pretty good step up, I would say.
And he can reanimate the dead now, which is pretty cool. So he heads to Gotham City, and he recites the Black Lantern Oath, and he digs up the skull of Batman. And following this, the Guardian of Death released thousands of black rings from the Central Battery, heading to Earth. Among those added to the Black Lantern Corps were John Johns, who's Martian Manhunter, Ralph Sue Dibney. John was sent after Hal and Barry Allen, while Hawkman and Hawkgirl were targeted. So the Dibneys actually murdered the Hawks, and Black Hand sent rings from Batman's skull to add them to the Black Lantern Corps. So it just... Basically, if you die, he just adds you to the crew. Just keeps joining in. So the crew gets larger and larger, and it gets all these superheroes involved.
Like the more battles they fight, the more troops they get, basically.
So Black Hand remained largely absent during the initial power build-up for the Black Lanterns. Basically waiting in the West Coast for when the Black Lantern's power level reached 100%. And he got everyone. Because it's very simple. You just create one zombie, and you just send them out to kill more, and then get more zombies. So he gets Martian Manhunter, and he's like, go get me some more heroes. Martian Manhunter's like, okay, cool.
And he's Martian Manhunter, so he can
he's
beat most people. Yeah,
he can beat everyone but Superman, so he just do it by himself.
But then if you get him and 4 other heroes, you could probably get Superman easy enough.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then that's where the storyline came from, that you have these superheroes being chased by 4 different heroes. So you've got say Robin, and he's being chased by fucking Black Canary, Green Arrow, one of the Green Lanterns, and then Supergirl. And he's just I'm fucked. There's no way I'm getting out of this.
I'm talented, I'm good at this, but my God, I'm not this good.
So finally, once the power level reached 100%, Black Hand beheld the arrival of the Black Central Batteries from Riot to Coast City, and then he commanded Necron, the Guardian of Death, to rise. So Black Hand helps Necron battle the heroes of Earth and the Lantern Corps, and in the final issue of The Blackest Night, it is revealed that Black Hand is Necron's link to the living plane. So Necron, who is the Guardian of Death, Black Hand is his link to everyone. So that's how important Black Hand is to this storyline, that he is the number one person, that the only reason this is happening is because of Black Hand.
Right, because he's the herald of
He's the herald and the link, and so he gets all of these people to join the Black Lanterns until they have enough power to rise the real leader.
That's ridiculous.
This prompts Hal Jordan to bond with the white entity of life. This is a whole storyline. I'm not going to get into it. And use its powers. And this is interesting how they win. That Hal Jordan resurrects Black Hand. So.
Right.
He doesn't win by beating him. He wins by resurrecting him. So he's no longer dead and can no longer be the link.
So then the connection that Necron has to all of these fucking soldiers of his own, it's gone. That's clever.
So that is the Black Hand. That's probably the biggest story that he's involved in. As a character who just started in the 60s and came back in, I would recommend reading The Blackest Night and Brightest Day. Those storylines are probably 2 of the biggest storylines DC have done in the last 40 years. So powers and abilities. His powers. He's got life force absorption. So he can basically drain the life force of the living to create anything, new hand for himself, or if he gets injured, he can just take a life force to just heal himself in any way.
You know who's able to do that, Connor?
Go on.
Stegron, the dinosaur man.
Yeah, but
same power.
But who would win?
How much prep time does Stegron get?
I could give him 6 months.
What about 65 million years?
Even then, Black Hand wins.
All right, if you must.
Yeah.
It's
abilities,
your report, I guess.
He's got genius level intellect. This is before any of his superpowers. He's just a genius.
Yeah.
His weaknesses: life force depletion. So as an after effect of the experimentation, when he has not consumed enough life force, he assumes burnt or decaying appearance. So he needs to keep sucking life force from people to keep up his appearance.
he starts looking like a corpse kind of thing.
Yeah, because he's dead.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it, actually.
One of his other weaknesses they have here is mental illness. So the physical and psychological trauma of losing his hand, coupled with years of defeat by various superheroes, has left William Hand mentally unstable and an absolute lunatic.
It's not, you can't just narrow it down to the hands and the beatings, though. Like,
no, it's the childhood as well.
It's the childhood as well. He slept in a grave and he kissed corpses and killed dogs.
Yeah.
He was there from the start.
And his brothers were so successul, so really...
His brothers were great. We all love his brothers. Let's throw them a party.
A gala, if you will. In terms of, he also has, as a weapon, the power rod. He possesses a device which can manipulate the energy of Green Lantern power rings. It can obtain this energy by directly draining it from a ring, or via the residue of a power ring gives off.
Right.
So like power rings, it needs to replenish this energy on a regular basis to operate. He usually does this during battles with one of the Green Lanterns. He's also used it to locate nearby power rings. As I said, that's how he lost his hand. Now it makes it somewhat similar to the rings, I suppose. This device is a product of his creative genius. It is unclear if he can create any such powerful technology, especially with his currently mentally unstable condition as well.
Right, so maybe he doesn't have the abilities anymore to do it, but he did it at that time.
And of course he has the Black Lantern ring. Well, he did. That was his weapon
until
as well.
He was brought back to life.
Now, interestingly, pre-Crisis, he actually broke the fourth wall a lot, and he would talk to the reader. His character would talk to the reader. Now, post-Crisis, he does not talk anymore, but it was like Deadpool style. Pre-Crisis.
Yeah, that's wild that he used to do that. And he had this kind of internal monologue for a while as well. That's interesting.
Yeah, like it's just weird that they did that with some characters. Unlike the Black Lanterns, this is just some of my notes that I have at the end. Black Hand is not a puppet manipulated by his ring. He is actually the physical embodiment of the Black. So he remains the same, alive or dead. So that means that his spirit is always in control, no matter what.
Cool. Handy.
And so Black Hand showed symptoms of being a sociopath from a very young age. As in his history, it was shown that he killed and stuffed the family dog. And then he went to a psychiatrist to say said that he learned to say what they wanted to hear instead of the truth.
Cause yeah, he wanted to stop going to see the psychiatrist. He's just like, yeah, I'll just say I'm fixed. That's fine.
Then lastly, one tiny piece of trivia: the name Black Hand is actually a tribute to writer Bill Finger.
Ah,
there you go.
Creator of Batman, Bill Finger.
Creator of Batman, Bill Finger.
Well, he didn't come up with the name Batman.
No, that's true. Okay, that's his one thing. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the end of my report of. You've got Mr. Hand, the Black Hand, William Hand, whichever way you want to Bill. If you want to call him Bill,
I'll call him Bill. No, that's a really dark backstory for a character, and it fits given what he does later on in life. But like, they didn't have Blackest Night planned out when they introduced this dude.
No, in 1964 they definitely didn't. But it's a character that started small and ended up starting a comic book wide, just terrible situation that killed half the superheroes.
Yeah, like he's a legitimate threat. No, he's like, and like he just escalates. It seems every time he shows up. Like he starts off like killing dogs and kissing corpses, then the whole like draining the life force of his family and then himself thing, and then leading like an army of zombies. Like all of that is just he's just going more and more and more every time. Yeah,
and I think the interesting part is seeing that character progression. That like he starts off as just a run of the mill character that Green Lantern just beats up. I was just like, you're an idiot. And then he's a psychopath. So originally his backstory is nothing, and then post Crisis they like, let's make it a lot darker. Let's make this character fucked.
Let's lean into this death guy.
Yeah, and then the more he leans into it, logically the further it goes. It's like, okay, well, he becomes the avatar of death. That he's the link from the true death to Earth. that he's like this massive like herald who brings in death and is going to kill all the universe. Some shit like that is a big step up from guy who just wants to punch Green Lantern.
Yeah, I like how he has such an irrational hatred of like superheroes because they're hopeful and bring light to the world.
That is my most fun part of the report, is when he tries to give it up and then he goes to lunch and he's just like, oh no, they're here.
It's like, fuck. It's like when it's like you see like you had a bad breakup and you see him later and they're out with someone and you're like, fuck.
So that's my report of the Black Hand, Shaun, a character I hope people check out.
Yeah, it was a really good report, Connor. Well done. Would you like me to take us out?
Yeah, please.
Thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Hero or Zero. We will be back on Monday with Movie Mondays, Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, next Friday with another episode of Hero or Zero. Big thanks to everyone who supports us over on our old Patreon page. Link to that in the description if you're interested. $5 or more a month over there. You get access to movie reviews. It's our Lazarus Pit show, we call it. So head on over there. Everyone who supports us, absolute legend. Other ways you can support: Twitter, we're at Heroes for Hire Pod, 4 is the number 4. Facebook, Heroes for Hire Podcast, our Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram then is Heroes for Hire Podcast as well, or send emails to heroesforhire_@outlook.com. But the best way you can ever help out the show is by telling one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I have been Ciara Lawler.
I have been dead the whole time.
Bye guys.